How Ant-Man and the Wasp's mid-credits set up Avengers 4. Ant-Man and the Wasp zipped into theaters today, and it's creating a lot of buzz about how it sets up Avengers 4. The Ant-Man sequel is the Marvel Cinematic Universe's much-needed palate cleanser after the dusty outing that was Infinity War, but the shrinky-dink action-packed comedy heist does manage to do some of the legwork of getting us ready for what comes next by sneaking some setup into their mid-credits scene. Now, there will definitely be spoilers for Ant-Man and the Wasp in this episode, so if you haven't seen it yet, then make like a mind-controlled ant and scurry on out of here, because seriously, we're about to spoil the hell out of Ant-Man and the Wasp, so make sure and come back after you've seen it.
Ants! Ants! Ant-Man!
Ants. Spoiler warning. Can we make spoiler warning show up with a bunch of little ants? That'd be kind of cool.
Ants.
Ants. Still here? Cool. First thing that you need to know is that the film takes place squarely before Infinity War and for the most part stands alone from the events of the big Avengers team-up. Scott Lang unwillingly gets busted out of his house arrest by the Pyms to help them rescue Janet Pym from her 30-year staycation in the quantum realm. Hank and Hope have created a quantum tunnel, a fancy new piece of tech that can send someone into the quantum realm, then bring them back safe and sound. The father-daughter science duo plus Scott spend much of the movie on the run from multiple threats, so at the end of all the Honey, I Shrunk the Heist hijinks, we get a mid-credits scene that brings us right back into the dusty death of Infinity War. Hank, Janet, and Hope have sent Scott back into the quantum realm for what's supposed to be a quick trip to pick up some quantum healing energy for Ghost. But he would have been better off finding some fresh-pressed juices for that, because Scott gets stuck in the quantum realm when all three of the Pyms meet their dusty end due to Thanos' snap. So, Scott is left hanging out in the quantum realm with no foreseeable way to get himself out and no one else who knows that he's there. So this is a pretty rad cliffhanger for mid-credits, but that's not all this quick post-show scene lays out. Before sending him into the Tinyverse, Janet Pym gives Scott some advice on his trip. She says not to get sucked into a time vortex. A time vortex, you say? Like the type of timey-wimey thing that could send someone back in time to the Battle of New York? Don't see how this is gonna play out. So where does this mid-credit shocker leave Ant-Man going into Avengers 4? It's heavily implied that Ant-Man needs Hank, Janet, or Hope to pull him out of the quantum realm using their new travel-size version of the quantum tunnel. So with the three of them snapshot out of existence, Ant-Man is probably stuck in there for at least the first few minutes of Avengers 4. We know he eventually escapes because Ant-Man can be seen fighting alongside the post-snap Avengers in the Avengers 4 promo art that found its way online a few weeks ago, and last January, on-set photos showed Ant-Man Scott Lang goofing it up with Captain America and the Hulk in a set that looked a lot like the Battle of New York from the 2012 Avengers film. If he's trapped in the quantum realm, we could see him shrugging his shoulders, falling into a time vortex, and bumping into the surviving Avengers mid-battle somewhere in the time stream. Ant-Man is one of Marvel's most comedic characters, so it makes sense tonally for him to just bungle his way into Earth's mightiest heroes, but for this option to work, the Avengers would have to establish their own completely different way to Back to the Future around the MCU timeline, which seems unlikely. Or Ant-Man could use a growth Pym particle disc similar to how he escaped the quantum realm in the first Ant-Man film. Once he's back on Earth, he'll see that half of his friends are now compost. God, it hurts. Call up his best bud Captain America and then lead all of his new friends back to the quantum realm where they could use the time vortexes to undo the universe's snappiest apocalyptic event. Of course, this is all wild speculation and we won't know for sure until Avengers 4 comes out in May of 2019, but the Ant-Man and the Wasp mid-credit scene did give us all something to think about. But what do you folks think? Did you like Ant-Man and the Wasp? Did the mid-credit scene get you even more hyped for Avengers 4? And isn't it weird that no one in San Francisco reported on or reacted to a giant alien donut attacking New York? We think so. Let's discuss. Be sure to like, subscribe, and mash that little bell to get notified every time we drop a video or go live with the show. And if you're heading down to San Diego for Comic-Con, make sure to join us at Nerdist House at the Sparks Gallery. We're gonna have live shows, exclusive panels, and special guests. If you can't make it down, you can catch the live show on Nerdist's YouTube and ProjectAlpha.com.